in the wake of the Supreme Court decision, Graham Linehan tweeted this on Twitter, seen by 131,000 people, apparently. If a trans woman is in a female-only space, she is committing a violent, abusive act. So just to be clear, that includes me going to the toilet at work, which I don't know how many times I go to the toilet at work on average a day. Probably like 3. So like maybe like up to 20 times a week I go to the toilet at work. No, that seems like quite a lot. 15? I don't know. Something like that. I have been apparently, according to Graham Linehan, committing a violent and abusive act. I'm sure there's a toilet joke to be made there, but I'm not going to make it because I'm not that kind of person. But no, obviously not. I go in, I do a wee, I scroll on the internet for just 1 minute too long, and then I go and wash my hands and get out. Just like everyone else. Okay, insane. Anyway, obviously, just generic, gender critical, whatever. But he is stepping up the rhetoric. He is feeling emboldened by the Supreme Court decision, and he says, make a scene, call the cops, and if all else fails, punch her in the genitals. So, very unambiguously, I think, in my opinion, he is calling for violence against trans women. I don't know how you could interpret this in any other way. If someone calls, like, screams and whatever, makes a scene, then that's obviously horrible. But in the end, not fatal. In the UK, if they call the cops, that could be bad, could end in violence. Unlikely to end in you getting shot, but in a lot of countries, that could easily be the case. But, like, just clearly calling to punch people. And this, Graham Linehan is not no one. He is, he's a loser, but he's not like an anonymous, faceless, gender-critical account with 10 followers. You see this kind of stuff from them all the time. The gender-critical, like, rank-and-file minions are constantly saying things like this and calling for violence against trans people. But this dude has less than 600,000 followers now, but 600,000 followers. It's had 5,000 likes, 131,000 views, and I think is clearly calling for violence against trans women for doing things, normal, everyday acts that all women do and that we've all been doing every single day of our lives for longer than he's been alive. I mean, he's obviously much older than me, but trans people in general. Do you think that I should be, I mean, obviously I don't have balls and all these, the way he's describing it here is disgusting, but do you think that I deserve to be punched in the genitals for going to the toilet? I mean, maybe you feel like you should, I don't know what reporting to the police or anything would do. I don't really have much faith in the system at all. But, I mean, as I have said here, even if you attack us, even if you sexually assault us, we won't stop existing or living our lives. I'm never going to stop using the women's spaces. So get fucked. You're a danger to women and LGBT people. I hope you see justice one day. I mean, true. Since the ruling, I mean, in general, I have rehearsed in my mind quite a lot what I would do if I encountered someone like this. I've never encountered anyone like this in real life. But obviously these like extreme freaks are probably feeling more emboldened than ever at the moment, so they're more likely to have the guts to do something. I don't think Graham personally is just talk. I could see him doing this. I wouldn't be, if he was violent towards a trans person, I would be completely unsurprised. If he was violent towards me, I'd be very unsurprised. I would fear for my physical safety if I encountered him in public, especially seeing as he's given out threats like this. But I've thought about it a lot, and you might be in a situation where this is more likely to happen now. If someone confronts you or if someone confronts me and says, like, biological female sex-based rights, and clearly identifies as themselves as some like gender critical freak, I think if I was on my own, I would probably try and record it, because they're going to lie about it. Though obviously recording it has its own risks too, because they could also say, you were recording women in the toilet or something. They're going to lie about it, whatever you do. And they're going to accuse you of sexual misconduct regardless of what happens. As he has done here, like inherently saying if you wash your hands, then you are violent and abusive. Like, they're always going to lie about it. So having some kind of record of what happened seems safer to me. I would like to think that I would be defiant. Obviously, it would be incredibly stressful and upsetting. But I think it's important to stand your ground, and to carry on living your life and doing your business. And if someone starts shouting at you, you can say, no, I'm sorry, I do not believe in your stupid ideology. I'm going to the toilet and I'm going to wash my hands. Leave me alone. If they threaten to call the police, I would say, yep, please call the police. And I would carry on doing my thing and just ignore them best I could. If they got violent, I don't know. I'm not a fighter. I am scared of this, to be honest. Like, a lot of gender critical men seem like very violent and horrible people. It's just not impossible, but I'm not going to live in fear of this. I'm not going to let them intimidate me out of living my life safely and happily. I'm not going to stop going to the gym or going to service stations or going to work. I'm going to just carry on, and if one of them sexually assaults me or attacks me, then I hope that I am not permanently injured and can try and do something about it to get justice. And I think if one of them kills me, then that's just going to have to be how it goes, because I'm not going to live in fear of that. And I don't think you should either, because that is what they want. Yeah, it's going to be difficult times, but I think we just have to do our best to expose what these people are like, fight back against it, and just do our best to live our lives. What I do think is important is if someone is really horrible to you and confronts you, to never, like, you've got to try and stay as calm as you can and not escalate, and absolutely do not be the first person to be violent. And like, I don't think any of you would, but obviously when you're in a position where people are like being aggressive and abusive towards you, people panic, and fight or flight is a thing, and my fight or flight response apparently is freeze. So I'm likely to express no emotions and not do anything, and I'm going to have to snap myself out of just standing there and gawping and be like, I need to say something like, no, I don't believe in your hateful ideology, leave me alone. I'm a woman, get out of here. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, on to, just to make the Linehan thing a bit funnier, like, he tweets hundreds of times a day, less and less people are seeing them. Like, I know his last one got seen a bunch, but it's because he was calling for violence, so obviously loads of trans people shared it, so then it got seen by loads of people. Loads of his stuff just gets like just terrible interaction. This guy's got over 500,000 followers and he's getting 93 likes. Like, that is abysmal. That is really, really bad. Anyway, he tweets rubbish all the time. I don't look at his Twitter. I never go on it anymore. I just happen to have seen this in passing, and it's just incredible. Like, almost every single thing you pick out for them is either horrible and abusive and threatening, or it's just the stupidest thing you've ever read, like, all the time. So here we go. Someone saying, pictures from yesterday's rally supporting our trans siblings following the Supreme Court's ruling last week. Let's just have a look at these nice photos. There were thousands of people at these protests. It was good to see. Anyway, he said, lol, siblings. trans men forgotten again because this is a men's sexual rights movement. Do you not know what siblings means, you stupid fuck? This guy's a writer, allegedly. Do you not think that some, like, siblings, boys? Like, what are you talking about? Your ex-wife has 2 male siblings. At least 2. Like, one of your children is a boy. How are they this stupid? Like, what are you talking about, you absolute loser? It just constantly amazes me how there are people, like, if English isn't your first language, or you're not good at literacy or whatever. I'm not dunking on people who don't know what words mean. Some words aren't common use. You know, if you didn't know the word sibling, whatever. But if you read this and you weren't a prick, you'd be like, pictures from yesterday's rally supporting our trans siblings? What does siblings mean? You might get from the context that siblings is like some kind of term for like friends or partners or coexistent beings or whatever. We might be like, I don't know what siblings means. I'm going to look it up. And you Google it, and then it would say siblings are brothers and sisters, individuals sharing at least one parent. They can be full siblings sharing both parents, half siblings sharing one parent, or even step siblings. And you'd be like, oh, okay. So they mean like a brother and a sister or whatever. So I'm not just dunking. It's not that I'm dunking on people who don't know what words mean. It's just incredible that they are so bad faith and so stupid. Like, this was a whole thing for him. This was a whole thought, a whole concise action was like, read this. And the one little dunk he had didn't have any pushback on. He's obviously, like, you know, the gender critical rallies, their biggest ever one was like 200 people. And then there's one that happens with days to plan it, and there was like 30,000+ people there. Obviously it's a bit cognitive dissonance for them. Doesn't have any other response other than to try and claim that siblings doesn't include men and boys. Stupid person. Why am I even doing this? Let's move on.